Hello and welcome to the best para build. In today's video, you can expect the best build, obviously, but a group variation and a solo variation, so two variations of the build. You can also expect a PvP tutorial teaching you how to use the build, survival tips and much more. I really hope you enjoy, and if you do, please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you. After you've picked your subspecies, which is completely cosmetic based, spawn straight in. You'll notice you are fast, but it's a trick. You're like medium speed with a fast animation. You'll also notice you can't crouch, so that paired with a bright baby skin makes hiding almost impossible. You take, I want to say medium full damage, so you can take a drop, but just be careful doing so. And once you've reached sub-adult, you will have unlocked most of your abilities, so you know what that means. It's time for the build. For our first ability, we're going to be using Custom. It claims to increase defense by 15%, but according to helpers in my Discord, this is actually 15% damage reduction, not 15% more HP. And it also decreases your max stamina by 18%, and honestly that is barely noticeable. I never struggled against Apexes because I ran out of stam, so don't worry about that. Now we're going to be using Headbutt instead of Bite, simply because it just does more damage, and for our sense, we're going to be using Berserker, mainly because it's an amazing sense, but I'm also not going to act like it's not the only ability there. Next, Four-Limb Flail, our main damage dealer. This is what we're going to be using to absolutely obliterate Apexes. And now, Resilient Hide. 50% bleed resistance is just something you can't pass up. With Para being a modded creature, you're obviously going to have to play on modded servers. And modded bleeders nowadays are just so strong, so this hide is going to be vital. And now your two back limb slots. The first one is going to be taken by Charge. Charge is amazing, it's helpful to let you escape Apexes, to let you catch up to them, it's good in PvP, it's good out of PvP, it's just a great ability. And the next is Kick. You need Kick nowadays, let's be real. Raptors are such a problem, and Kick is just amazing. And for your tail slot, we're obviously going to go for Tail Attack. It's the only option there, but it's also really helpful in PvP. And here is where the variation comes in. When you're solo, Gusty is amazing. It increases your damage output by 20%, which takes your Four-Limb Flail damage from 60 to 72. But when you're in a group, you're going to want to use Stampede. Now Stampede can stack up to 4 times. And it increases damage by 11% for all Hadrosaurs. So if we do some quick maths, that's 44% damage increase you can get up to, and that is amazing. I mean, that is so strong, you would be tearing apart Apexes. And this is how the final build should look. Feel free to screenshot this and send it to anyone who may need a para build. But now, it's time for a PvP tutorial. So I'm chasing this Giga. I pop my buff cool, but I also want to let him know we're fighting because he seems a little clueless. I do a few headbutts, I let him know I'm coming. And if he doesn't react well, that's up to him now. He knows. He's running, he tries to get away, he runs into a tree because he's not looking in front of him, he's looking behind him, and I start hitting him with the Four-Limb Flail. But he's running, so what I'm going to do is charge in front of him, block him off, and then Four-Limb Flail in his face. He can't do anything. And now what I'm trying to do is get behind him, but I see that's not really going to happen, so my next course of action is to dodge his bites by turning away with precise movement, and you'll see me really trying to do that, because honestly there's nothing else I can do, we're just face tanking. I go in for it, I dodge his bite right there, dodge it again, and then I go in for a Four-Limb Flail. It's just that simple, it's just that easy. GG's. In the comments, please let me know if you'd like to see another PvP fight in these tutorials. But now let's talk camo. This is Swamp. It says green as green can be. You can blend in amazingly in birch woods, grand plains, white cliffs, anywhere green. And this is Canopy, our woodland skin. It's basically just Swamp, but with yellow hints. So, you know, it blends in the woodland areas. And this is our desert skin, Paleocene. Paleo desert skin, that's what we're going to call it, and here it is in the desert. It blends in really nicely in areas like savanna grasslands, desolate pass, anywhere with sand. And now let's talk about some things to avoid. As far as terrain goes, You want to be careful of areas like this. You don't want to get cornered, and you definitely don't want to get pushed up against a cliff edge in an area like this. As far as counters go, we have every raptor that can pounce, because pouncing is a massive counter to para, and we also have both rexes, mainly because they have insane buff cools, but they also have bone break. As far as herbivore counters go, we have got Eotheri, Stego and Bars, mainly just because they're strong herbivores, and what are you really going to do, because they're going to be able to outmaneuver you. But with that being said, that's all I have for you today. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.